Alright, here we go with day 4 of the assembly of the 1971 9.5 horsepower Evinrude model 9122 for Steph. Got just about everything done except stabbing the gear case. Got the gear case right there all prepped and ready. Got the motor tilted up all the way. And I'll show you a few tricks on how to get this thing in there. So you got to line up the drive shaft down this center. You got to make sure and get the impeller housing opening right here on this water tube, and then you got to line up the shift rod connector. So there's 3 things that's got to line up when you push it in there, and then the splies have to line up with the bottom of the power head. If they don't, then you can rotate the crankshaft a few turns to try to make all that line up. So you got to line up the splines, you got to line up the water tube, you got to line up the shift rod. All that's got to line up. So a few tips here. There's a O-ring that goes on the top of the drive shaft, and I always take a little dab of grease, put it on the splines. Make sure they don't get stuck in the power head. And then there is a grommet goes on the top of the power head of the water tube. It's got a indentation right here. It's right there. That can cause an exhaust leak if this is not on the motor. There it is. All right, so tip number 1 to help it all line up is you wanna to get the shift rod connector, you want to pull this all the way up to forward. Okay, so that's as high as it can go. All right, before you stab it in. Then you want to take the shift rod connector on the motor. As you can see, this shift rod is connected to the forward neutral reverse lever. So we want to have this all the way up. Alright, so when we stab everything, the shift rod, lower shift rod, won't be on this. It'll be right up against it. There'll be a little crack in here. You can reach in there with a pair of pliers, and you can pull this down right over the top of your shift rod. Then you got to stick the nut in, screw that in, push it all together, and put in these 4 bolts. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Okay, I got the gear case stabbed. I felt when it went in. I have, looking with a flashlight, I have the shift rod right there. All I got to do is push down that connector until it lines up and put my bolt in. And I made sure that my water tube is connected. So once I line that shift rod connector up and get it entangled, I can push it in and put my 4 bolts. I'm gonna do that now. Alright, I got her stabbed in. I got my 4 bolts put in. All looks good. Now let's check to make sure that that the gears are working. So I got it in neutral and it spins free. I'm gonna put it in reverse. Put it in reverse, and the gears catch. Cool. I'm gonna come down neutral, forward. Sometimes you gotta move the prop shaft a little bit to get it to go in gear. And it goes into forward, and the gears catch. I'd say the shift rod connector is connected right. So that will conclude the assembly of a 9.5 Evinrude for Steph. She's all put together. Of course, I got the prop and, you know, the kill switch, a couple of little things, but she's ready to drop in the barrel and see if she'll run. That'll be another video. So this was a 4-part video of how to assemble a 9.5. Hope y'all enjoyed it, and I'll see y'all next video. Thanks for watching the video. I hope y'all enjoyed it. If you did, please click on subscribe and tell all your friends about T Mike's Vintage Outboards YouTube channel. Also, I have dozens of links below in the description. You can find my eBay store, all the parts I have in there. You can find my trusted T Mike parts, where I make kits for fuel pump conversions, for your carburetors, for your magnetos and your gear cases. You also have a link for my mail-in repair service, how to send me your parts to repair and send them back to you. Also a link in there for technical consulting if you need some help with your vintage motors. So I love what I do. I love all the videos that you guys have requested for me to make. Keep the requests coming in, and I'll keep making the videos. And remember, always remember, and never forget, here at T Mike's Vintage Outboards, we're doing it one motor at a time.